Hey there, this is Dr. Jolene Fernandez. I'm a clinical nutritionist based in India. Today we're going to talk about fatty liver, the non-alcoholic fatty liver. I'm sure some of you have done an ultrasound, an abdominal ultrasound, and you found a fatty liver that was mentioned on the ultrasound. And most of us have been told, you know what, fatty liver is very common. Almost 1 in 3 people have a fatty liver. All you got to do is cut down all the fat in your diet. You have to stay away from coconut, stop eating the yolk of the eggs, cut down on peanuts, cut down on cashew nuts. And we blamed all the fat in our diet to cause the fatty liver. But today I'm here to bust a lot of myths about fatty liver. And you will be really surprised that we blamed the wrong guys for the fatty liver. Now first let us understand what is fatty liver. Fatty liver means that there's excess fat storage in the liver. Now whenever we eat food, the food is converted into glucose. The extra glucose is taken to the liver and it is stored as glycogen. So this is how the glucose gets converted. Whatever is required is used up for energy, and the excess amount of glucose is converted to glycogen and is stored in the liver. Now, when you're constantly eating, or there's too much of glucose coming into the system, there's a lot of glycogen that gets stored in the liver, which eventually the liver has no option, but it gets converted to fat, and then it gets converted to fatty liver. Fatty liver simply means that there's excess fat in your liver. Now, grade 1 fatty liver is when you have up to about 5% of fat in your liver, or your liver has got 5% of fat. Grade 2 is when you've got about 10 to 15%, and grade 3 is when you have more than 15 to 30% of fat in your liver. Now, you'll be wondering, oh, it's just fat in the liver, no? How can this even cause any problems? But you will be surprised to know that after fatty liver, the next stage is something called as NASH, non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, wherein there is inflammation of the liver. There is enlargement of the liver. So even when we as doctors palpate your abdomen, we can feel the enlarged edge of the liver. The next stage is fibrosis, wherein there is tissue scarring of the liver, and from this stage onwards you cannot regenerate, or the liver does not regenerate. This scarring would be permanent. And the last stage is cirrhosis of liver. Now you'll be wondering, can this happen even without consuming alcohol? Yes, it takes a little longer, you'll see the changes maybe over 10 years, but eventually there is cirrhosis that can happen to a liver even without drinking alcohol. Now, what are the signs of fatty liver? Number 1 that you can see or you'll feel is a slight pain in the liver region. So this is because, there is the volume and the size of the liver has increased, so there will be slight pain. You could also have a lot of swelling in your feet. The third very marked feature of fatty liver or signs of an inflamed liver are in your skin. So a lot of people come up with acne, pigmentation on the on the forehead, on the sides, in the neck region. So these are also signs of a fatty liver. And of course, on an ultrasound, you will see the fatty liver mentioned by the doctor. And if you do a blood test, you will notice that your triglycerides are up, and your SGOT and SGPT, these are 2 liver enzymes, they will also be elevated. So these are the signs to look out for in fatty liver. Now let's talk about the myths about fatty liver. Number 1, fatty liver is caused by fatty foods. To be honest, the fat was simply blamed. It was the glucose or the sugar in your foods that actually caused the fatty liver, and the refined oils. So it's been ages now that we've been forced to believe that your sunflower oils and all the different kinds of seed oils are healthy for us. just to find out that these just aggravated the liver condition, the heart condition, and it just caused even more problems. So if you have fatty liver, the first thing that you need to do is switch your oil. Your cooking oil either can be coconut oil or groundnut oil, peanut oil, and people living in the West can use avocado oil or olive oil. Now about the sugar, you'll be surprised as to how can sugar cause fatty liver. So when we eat food or when we eat regular food, it gets converted to glucose. Glucose is taken to the liver. Most of it is used up for energy, and whatever is in excess goes to the liver. It's stored as glycogen. Now over a period of time, if you have been consuming a lot of sugar-rich foods, and when I mean sugar-rich foods, I mean the processed packaged food which has got hidden sugars in them, like maltodextrin, corn syrup, all of these fructose-rich foods, these will get stored in the liver as glycogen, and eventually when the liver cannot handle so much of glycogen, it is going to convert it to fat. That glycogen eventually gets converted to fat. It goes out, comes back in, gets converted to fat, and it is stored in your liver as fat. And this is how you get fatty liver. So now you'll be wondering, my fruits also have got fructose in them. Does that also cause fatty liver? Or, most of my vegetables are also starchy, like potatoes or, yams, tubers. All of these are starchy. They definitely have got glucose and fructose. Yes, they have glucose and fructose, but you need to understand that your fruits are not just rich in sugars. They've got antioxidants. They've got fibers in them that help to bring down this fructose, or it makes it easier for your body to break down the fructose. So you need not worry about your fruits unless you are juicing them every day. You're cutting them finely. You're mixing it up with different other fruits. You're making a fruit salad and eating. That is when there is a problem. So avoid juicing your fruits, making them into smoothies, cutting them finely, chopping them. That will eventually lead to a fatty liver. But if you bite your fruit and eat it, it's the best thing that you're doing. So bite your fruits and eat. That's not going to cause you any problem. Next, about glucose. Now, all of these high corn syrup or maltodextrin or all the processed packaged food eventually will lead to a fatty liver. And look out for all of these hidden sugars in your packaged food, because they are always there. Even though your packaged food will claim to be healthy, like it'll be mentioned as high fiber, zero sugar, zero cal, low fat, zero fat, oil free, vegan, they still have got hidden sugars which will eventually lead to fatty liver. Now the next myth is that fatty liver does not have to be treated. You can, just ignore it, and it's going to be there, but it is not going to cause you any harm. Now, this is one of the biggest myths. Like I've already explained to you, as the fat percentage in your liver increases, it leads to scarring, and scarring will eventually lead to a cirrhosis, a cirrhotic liver. And this increases your chances for even having liver cancer. Now, which are the other organs in the body that get affected because of fatty liver? Number one, the thyroid. Now, most of us take thyroid medication for the hypothyroid, that is, and having an underactive thyroid. But did you know the medication that you're taking, the synthetic hormone that you're taking, is the T4, levothyroxine or thyroxine? It is T4. It is the inactive thyroid hormone. Now, for your body to be able to use the hormone, it needs to be converted to T3. Okay? And this conversion happens because of the liver. It happens because of the liver. Now, if you have a fatty liver, this conversion is blocked. So, you may be popping a thyroid medication every single day. But if you have a fatty liver, if you have an inflamed liver, then that conversion is not getting done, and you're still going to have an underactive thyroid, and this makes it very difficult for people with thyroid to lose weight, and even their metabolism is low, so they struggle with losing weight, they struggle with managing their hypothyroid. So be careful. If you have hypothyroid, make sure, and you're taking medication, make sure that you have a good liver. The next organ to get affected is your pancreas, because the sugar regulation or sugar metabolism depends on the liver and your pancreas. So when you have a fatty liver, this really puts a strain on your pancreas, and you have huger or marked insulin spikes, which eventually lead to insulin resistance, and you have high circulating insulin levels in the body, which have other metabolic and hormonal changes as well. And the next myth around fatty liver is that fatty liver is not reversible. Fatty liver, let me tell you, is completely reversible, because liver is one of those organs in the body which can regenerate. Even with a certain amount of damage, it can regenerate. So with lifestyle modifications, hear me, lifestyle modifications and not supplements. Like, there are so many supplements available for the liver, like Ayurvedic supplements are there. There are liver detox powders, there are liver detox drinks, and there's so much out there in the market. But let me tell you, nothing works better for the liver than lifestyle modifications. And now, what do I mean by that? Number one, complete your dinner at least by 8:30, because your liver needs at least 10 to 12 hours of fasting. So instead of fasting during the day, fast in the night, have an early dinner and fast in the night, and that's the only fast that your liver requires to detox. So first, try and have an early dinner. Next, stay away from all that processed and packaged food. Make sure that you cut it out gradually. Like, people blame potatoes for fatty liver, but if you're going to have french fries, or you're going to have packaged chips, or you're going to have mashed potato with cream and cheese every day, that is going to aggravate the fatty liver. But if you are having a potato sabzi with fibers, you're having a aloo methi sabzi, or a palak aloo sabzi, or you're having a aloo paratha, that's not going to cause the problem. Alright, so make sure that you don't blame the wrong guys, and you include these kind of foods. Next, don't juice your fruits, don't chop them up and make them into nice fancy Instagrammable salads. You're fooling yourself by doing that. It's not really Instagrammable to bite a fruit and eat, of course, but it's definitely healthy for your liver. So make sure that you bite your fruits and you eat it. You're not chopping them up finely or making them into smoothies or juicing the fruits and having them. Next, please include essential fats in your diet. So don't cut out essential fats. Essential fats are ghee, white butter, coconut or coconut oil, then your eggs, nuts, seeds. Please ensure that these essential fats are there in your diet, because these will help your fatty liver. All right, so make sure that you're not blaming the fats, and you're eating more fats in your diet, like healthy fats in your diet. And lastly, sleep on time. And when I say sleep on time, at least by 10:30, 11 is when you should sleep, because that's when your liver actually has the time to detox. It's when you go to sleep and you don't have a screen in front of you. So try and avoid using a gadget at least for about 30 minutes before you go to bed. That's when your sleep gets better, and your liver also detoxes better. So this is about it, about fatty liver. So those who have a fatty liver, please do not ignore it, because this is an early sign of diabetes, hypertension, insulin resistance as well. So your liver gets affected first when you have when you're eating excess of glucose, or you're eating a lot of processed food, or if there's something going wrong with your lifestyle. It does not have to only be alcohol. Of course, alcohol contributes largely, but if you are a person who does not consume alcohol, you can still have a fatty liver, and it is not the fat to be blamed, it's the glucose and it's the refined oils. So cut those out first and you will see a huge change in your liver. So that's about it from me today. If you've loved watching this video, don't forget to share it with your friends and your family members. I'm sure somebody is definitely going to benefit. I will see you all next time on Friday at the same time. So till then, good night. Bye bye.